Animate or abiotic causes include prokaryotes. What is a prokaryote? A prokaryote is a unicellular organism that lacks a distinct membrane-bound nucleus or any other membrane-bound organelles. This means that the genetic material DNA is not bound within a nucleus. Prokaryotes includes molecules, bacteria. Molecules have only cell membrane and like cell wall, and molecules are present in the phloem of the infected plants with yellow staph diseases and insect vectors of the disease. Here yellow staph disease is characterized by the yellowing of the leaves, reddening of the leaves, small leaves, internodes. All these are the characteristic feature of the yellow staph diseases. It includes aspiroplasma and phytoplasma. Aspiroplasma. What is aspiroplasma? Aspiroplasma, the molecules which have helical structure, then it is called aspiroplasma. The aspiroplasma is cultured on nutrient media. Their structure, helical structure in shape in liquid media, and they multiply by fission. They lack true cell wall or wall-less and bounded by a unit membrane. They have no flagella. Some colonies have typical fried egg appearance, but others are granular. They are resistant to penicillin, but inhibited by tetracycline or erythromycin or neomycin. And the aspiroplasma are restricted to the phloem tissues of the infected host plants. They are only found in the phloem tissues of the infected plants. There are some important diseases which are caused by aspiroplasma, such as corn stunt, citrus stubborn, brittle root disease in horseradish. All these diseases are caused by Aspiroplasma citri. Phytoplasma, the molecules which are round to elongate but are not spiral, then they are called phytoplasma. What are the characteristic feature of phytoplasma? The characteristic feature of the phytoplasma include phytoplasma like cell walls. There is no cell wall. Cannot be grown on artificial nutrient media, and they are bounded by a unit membrane. And they are spheroidal or ovoid. Spheroidal means approximately spherical in shape, and ovoid. Ovoid means having a egg shape. Phytoplasma are sensitive to tetracycline groups antibiotic, and they are transmitted by leaf hopper, plant hoppers and xylids. There are some important diseases which are caused by phytoplasma. Star yellows, ilm yellows, apple proliferation, pear decline, coconut lethal yellowing, little leaf of brinjal, phyllodes of sesame, peach yellows, ash yellows, peach X disease, stulver or big bud disease, grassy shoot of sugarcane and sandal spike. All these are caused by phytoplasma. Now come to the fastidious vascular bacteria. It is formerly called or known as rickettsia-like organism. Fastidious vascular bacteria are very small, submicroscopic walled bacteria. Walled bacteria means there is a wall, so wall is there. They cannot be grown on simple culture in the absence of host cell. They are generally rod-shaped. They are bounded by a cell membrane and a cell wall. And they have no flagella. They are gram-negative. They are unable to grow conventional bacteriological media. This bacteria is classified into two groups: fastidious phloem-limited bacteria. They were first observed in 1972 by the Windshare and Black in clover and periwinkle plants affected with clover club leaf disease, and in citrus plants affected with citrus greening disease. None of these bacteria grown in culture, cannot be grown in culture. And clover club leaf disease transmitted by leaf hopper, and citrus greening is transmitted by xylid. And second group is fastidious xylem limited. Xylem limited bacteria, that means the bacteria which is found only in the xylem. These bacteria were first observed in 1973 in the xylem vessels of the grape plants affected with the fiercest disease and alfalfa affected with alfalfa dwarf. They can be grown in culture on complex nutrient medium. Okay, these are some diseases such as fierce disease of grape, pony peach disease, plum lip scald, almond lip scorch, citrus variegation chlorosis, alfalfa dwarf. All these diseases are caused by Xylella fastidiosus, and this bacterium is gram negative. There is one important disease, that is ratoon stunting of sugarcane. That is caused by, this disease is caused by Clavibacter xylem subspecies xylem, and this bacteria is gram positive. True bacteria. The bacteria are generally extremely microscopic, strictly unicellular microorganisms whose genetic material, that is DNA, is not bound by a membrane and therefore is not organized into a nucleus. The bacteria have cell membrane and cell wall, and their cell consists of cytoplasm containing DNA and 70S ribosomes. The cytoplasm in bacteria is surrounded by a cell membrane, a cell wall. The most plant pathogenic bacteria are generally rod-shaped. There is one exceptional, that is Streptomyces, which is filamentous, that is thread-like structure. The bacteria reproduce by asexual process. That asexual process is known as binary fission or fission. They are disseminated by water, insects, animals, and human beings also. There are some examples which are gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Gram positive bacteria include Clavibacter, formerly it is known as Corynebacterium, and Streptomyces. These two bacteria are gram positive bacteria. You must remember gram negative bacteria. Agrobacterium, Erwinia, Xanthomonas, Pseudomonas, and Xylella. All these are gram negative bacteria. You must remember which bacteria is gram positive and which one is gram negative bacteria. There are some important diseases which are caused by bacteria, such as BLB. BLB means bacterial leaf blight disease of rice, Xanthomonas campestris pathobar origin, and angular leaf spot of cotton. It is caused by Xanthomonas campestris pathobar malvacearum, and citrus canker caused by Xanthomonas campestris pathobar citri. Eukaryotes. What do you mean by eukaryotes? Eukaryotes are organisms that possess membrane-bound nucleus as well as membrane-bound organelles. That is eukaryotes. They may be unicellular or multicellular. Eukaryotes include fungi. Fungi, what do you mean by fungi? Fungi are eukaryotic, a chlorophyllous organism that may reproduce sexually and asexually, and whose filamentous branched somatic structures are typically surrounded by a cell wall and containing cellulose, chitin, or both. Fungi are classified into three kingdoms: fungi, chromista, and protozoa. Fungi have filamentous vegetation body, and that filamentous body is called mycelium, and the mycelium branches out in all directions, and individual branches of the mycelium is called hyphae. Hyphae reproduce chiefly by the means of spores. Spores are generally spores are reproductive bodies or units consisting of one or few cells. Asexual spores and sexual spores. Sexual spores include sporospores and conidia. Aplanospore and zoospores. These two are sporospores. When the spores are motile, then it is called zoospores, and the sporospores, if non-motile, then it is called aplanospores. Sexual spores are produced in zygomycetes, ascomycetes, bestomycetes, and oomycetes. The spores which are produced in zygomycetes are zygospores. In Ascomycetes, the sexual spore is ascospores. In Basidiomycetes, the sexual spore is basidiospores. In Oomycetes, the sexual spore is oospores. There is no sexual spore is known in Deuteromycetes or Fungi imperfecti. Plant pathogenic algae. Algae are plants capable of manufacturing their own food because of presence of chlorophyll. That's why they are called autotrophs. The presence of chlorophyll is the most characteristic feature of the algae. Although there are some algae which are not green because of some other pigments associated with chlorophyll which mask the green color, are also caused by algae. The Cephaloros, mycoids, the diseases which are caused by algae are known as red rust, that is caused by Cephaloros virescens. The plant parasitic algae spread through their sporangia, which are airborne or produce zoospores. These spores enter the host through stomata. They enter the host through stomata and outer natural openings and grow the chains of the algal cells. In India, algae diseases of mango and citrus is very common in humid areas. Protozoa. The protozoa are mostly one-celled microorganisms, generally motile, and they have typical nuclei. They are classified under the classification class Mastigophora and the order Kinetoplastida and family Tryphanosomatidae. These are the classification of the protozoa. They may live alone or in group or colonies. They may be free living, symbiotic or parasitic. Symbiotic means mutually beneficial. They move flagella. They move through flagella or pseudopodia. One of the protozoa, only the flagellates have been associated with the plant disease. The flagellates are characterized by one or more slender flagella at some or all stages of their life cycle. Flagellates protozoa were first found associated with plants in 1909 in Mauritius, when Lafont reported that they parasitize the latex layering cells of the leticiferous plants, Euphorbia that comes under the family Euphorbiaceae. In 1931, Stahel found flagellates infecting the phloem of the coffee trees and causing abnormal phloem formation and wilting of the trees. In 1963, Vermeulen presented the evidence of pathogenicity test of the flagellates of the coffee tree. In 1976, flagellates were reported to be associated with several diseases of coconut and oil palm trees in South America. The plant protozoa were placed in new genus Phytomonas davidii. The diseases which are caused by flagellates protozoa, such as phloem necrosis of coffee, which is caused by Phytomonas leptobacillum, and coffee wilt. This disease also caused by Phytomonas leptobacillum. There are some other important diseases. Heart rot of coconut palm, which is caused by Phytomonas protozoa. This disease occurs in mature sheep elements of the leaves and inflorescence. And sudden wilt of oil palm, it is also caused by Phytomonas Phytomonas protozoa. It occurs widely in the phloem sheep elements of the roots or leaves. There is one important disease, empty root of cassava. It is caused by P. prankii. And para wilt of cotton. This disease was reported by C.D. Mai, first time in Indian subcontinent. These flagellates are transmitted by pentatomid insects, that is Lincus and ocellaris. Parasitic flowering plants. As you know, plants are caused by fungi, bacteria, nematodes. There are a few seed plants which are parasite on living plants, and these parasitic plants produce flowers and seeds which belong to several families. And these plant parasitic flowering plants grouped into two categories or two groups. So, one group is stem parasite and other group is root parasite. Stem parasite is further divided into two groups. Holoparasite. Holoparasite means entirely dependent on stem, such as dodder, that is Cuscuta campestris, and it belongs to the family Cuscutaceae. And other group is semi-parasite, that is partially dependent on stem, such as giant mistletoe and Loranthus. It belongs to the family Loranthus. Root parasite. Root parasites are also further classified into two groups: holoparasite and semi-parasite. Holoparasite, that means entirely dependent on root, such as broom breath, that is called broom Orobanchi indica. It belongs to the family Orobanchaceae. It is a major problem in tobacco and solanaceous crops. Semi-parasites. It is partially dependent on root, such as witchweed. It is also called Astraiga densiflora. It belongs to the family Escrofloriaceae. This parasite is a major problem in sugarcane and cereals. Nematodes. Nematodes are generally microscopic worm-like animals that live saprophytically in water or soil or as parasite of the plants and animals. Nematodes belongs to the kingdom Animalia and phylum Nematoda. There are some important diseases which are caused by nematodes, such as root knot nematode, Meloidogyne species, paddy cyst nematode, Heterodera oryzicola, white tip of rice, Aphelencoids baceae, and potato cyst nematode, Globodera rostocanensis, and Upra disease of rice, Ditylencus angustus. Now come to the next topic, classification of plant diseases. Plant diseases are classified on the basis of parts of the host affected, such as if leaf is infected, then it is foliage disease, such as early blight of potato, late blight of potato. Early blight of potato is Alternaria, it's caused by Alternaria solana. Late blight of potato is caused by Phytophthora infestans. And the stem disease, the disease which occurs on the stem, that is stem disease. The wheat rust is the important stem disease. Wheat rust is caused by Fuchsia graminis titici. And root diseases such as root rot of turmeric, white rot of pea, and vascular diseases, fusarium wilt and bacterial wilt. Plant disease also classified on the basis of the kind of symptoms produced, such as wilt, loss of turgidity, drooping of the plant parts. Rust means small pustules of the spores. Smuts means charcoal-like powder mass, usually which appear on the floral organs. Mildew means fungal disease in which the mycelium and spores of the fungus are seen as a whitish growth on the host surface. Downy mildew, when the growth appears like a downy growth means cottony growth, then it is called downy mildew. Powdery mildew, like a white or dull powdery, it is known as powdery mildew. White blister, white pustules appear on the leaves or inflorescence. Scab refers to the roughened or crust-like lesions to the diseased organ. Sclerosia is a compact or hard mass of dormant fungus mycelium. And blotch is characterized by the large and irregular in shape spots or blots on leaves and stems. Blight means rapid killing of the leaves. Exudation, mass of bacterial ooze. Galls, galls means a soiling or overgrowth produced on the plants. Witch's broom means broom-like growth. Necrosis, necrosis means death of the cell or tissues. Dieback, dieback means dying of the plant organs from the tip to downwards. Anthracnose, anthracnose means ulcer-like lesions which are produced on the stem or spot. Damping of, destruction of the seedling near the soil line. Now, on the basis of extent of occurrence and geographic distribution, plant diseases may be sporadic. When a disease occurs at a very irregular intervals, then it is referred to as sporadic disease, such as angular leaf spot of cotton, sugarcane mosaic, all these are sporadic disease. And endemic disease, when a disease is present more or less constantly in a particular location, that is in a particular area, district or state or country or even part of the earth, in a moderate or severe form, then it is called endemic disease. Like as for example, what disease of potato? What disease of potato? This disease was established in Darjeeling district of the West Bengal in 1953. Another example is golden cyst nematode, that is caused by Golobodera rostocanensis. This nematode was established in Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu in 1961. Epidemic or epiphytotic disease, the disease which occurs in very severe form and affects a very large population periodically. It occurs widely but periodically. As for example, lead blight of potato, that is caused by Phytophthora infestans, wheat rust, Fuchsina graminis titici. Now next disease is pandemic disease. When a disease is prevalent throughout the country or continent or the world, then it is known as pandemic disease. As for example, lead blight of potato. On the basis of major causal agents, non-infectious or non-parasitic disease, there is no association of the pathogen. Infectious disease, the disease which are caused by foreign pathogens, there is association of the pathogen. On the basis of extent to which diseases are associated with plants, localized disease and systemic disease. Localized disease are those diseases which affect only a special organ or part of the plant. In this case, the disease development is restricted in or around the infection site by the pathogen. And they are localized diseases are generally caused by fungi, bacteria and nematodes. And systemic diseases are those diseases which affect entire plant. In these diseases, the development of disease occurs throughout the entire plant. And such diseases are caused by viruses, viroids or phytoplasma. The plant diseases are classified on the basis of method of perpetuation and mode of primary infection, such as soil-borne disease. The pathogen of a disease perinates in the soil or on the infected plants, on the infected plant debris, and whose primary source of inoculum for the infection during the next growing season is soil, then it is known as soil-borne disease. Once the area becomes infected, it is very difficult to get rid of them. As for example, root rot, that is caused by Phytophthora species, damping of Pythium species. Seed-borne disease, when the pathogen of the disease perinates in or on the seeds or other similar structures and infect plant during the next season, and such disease is called seed-borne disease. As for example, covert smut, loose smut of wheat. Airborne disease, when a pathogen of a disease is disseminated by air and which act as primary and secondary infection in the host plants, and such diseases are called airborne diseases. As for example, stem rust. On the basis of number of generation of infection, plant disease are classified into simple interest disease and compound interest disease. Simple interest diseases, any such disease which is increases mathematically analogous to simple interest in money, is referred to as simple interest disease. There is only one generation of the pathogen in the life cycle of affected plants. As for example, loose asthma of wheat, covert asthma of barley. Compound interest disease, any disease which increases mathematically analogous to compound interest in money, is referred to as compound interest disease. There are many sources of inoculum are produced. Normally one primary source and many secondary sources are produced. And from these sources several or many generations of the pathogen are developed in the life cycle of the host plant in one season. Therefore, these spores are disseminated by rapid means such as air. They infect other plants such as stem rust of wheat, which is caused by Paxina graminis titi. Thank you.